decided to do the only interview with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. conducted in the last 15 years that doesn't mention vaccines. But if you're interested in why we have found ourselves at war with Russia, or who killed his uncle, President Kennedy, and why, it's worth watching.
Kennedy Jr., thank you for joining us. So I noticed when you showed up, you've been on the road for weeks, you had no Secret Service with you, which is a little weird given that your father was murdered while running for president, as you now are. Why wouldn't you have Secret Service protection?
And then I got the letter from Mayorkas, Alexander Mayorkas, who's the director of DHS, saying that we've determined that you don't need Secret Service protection.
But it's very obvious, and you've confirmed it, that there are threats against your life, against your family. That's known. And so if they deny you protection, and they know that, what message are they sending?
I don't really know what they're doing. John Bolton still has a Secret Service detail.
Still?
Yeah, still. He hasn't been in government in years.
And he didn't do a good job either.
All the president's family have Secret Service details. Hunter has a Secret Service detail. When he goes to court every day, he has 4 or 5 cars that are coming with him in a very, very big detail.
And you can see the full segment of Tucker with Robert Kennedy on Tucker Carlson Show on Twitter. Robert Kennedy was just explaining to us he's not getting Secret Service. The Biden administration is not providing Robert Kennedy, who is running for president, with Secret Service. That, I'm telling you, is an abuse of power. Now, if you think that video is bad, wait till you hear from Vivek Ramaswamy. He was recently on John Stottle. Vivek Ramaswamy is an up-and-coming GOP. He's an anti-woke candidate, and he's got a lot to say. We'll be back with more.
My run for president of the United States. We're looking to be number 1. That's the goal. But it's a steady climb to get there. I mean, it's like where Donald Trump was in 2015. That's about where we are in the polling nationally. Look, I'm not a political scientist. My projections of who's going to do what over the course of a year and a half, those predictions aren't worth much. But what I am in this race to do is to speak truth at every step. And my entire electoral strategy is I'm going to actually say what I believe. And we'll find out whether that's a winning strategy or not. My bet is that it is. I just came here from New Hampshire, spent 5 days on a 10-county bus tour there. If we're doing what we're doing in rooms of 100 or 200 people at a time, and we can take that nationally, I have full confidence we win this election. But more importantly, it's not about who wins this election that matters. It's the fact of how we actually revive our missing national identity. That's why I'm in this race, and I'd rather speak truth and lose the election rather than to play some political snakes and ladders and figure out how to...
That's the number one issue, revive our national identity?
I actually think it is.
And explain what that means.
So look, if you ask people my age, I'm 37, I'm a millennial, what does it mean to be American? You get a blank stare in response. I think that is a moral vacuum. It is a vacuum at the heart of our national soul.
What would you wish the response to be?
I'd wish the response to be something that was grounded in the principles that set America into motion. That said, we're a nation built on basic ideas like the rule of law, like free speech and open debate, that we embrace meritocracy over grievance, that we embrace the unapologetic pursuit of excellence, that we live in a country where the people who we elect to run the government are the ones who actually run the government. Even if I disagree with them, let it be the people we elect, rather than a permanent managerial, bureaucratic, permanent state class that actually runs the show today. That's what it means to be American. We fought a revolution to bring ourselves together. That we're, yes, may come from many different skin colors, that there's 2 different genders, that there are 2 different political parties, but what unites us is a commitment to those common set of ideals. That's what it means to be American. Yet now you get a dull, lobotomized stare. That's effectively what you get when you ask somebody what it means to be American, if not an actual shameful response, almost apologizing.
Ramaswamy is a strong GOP candidate, and he's an anti-woke candidate. So I'm telling you, woke is a joke. Woke, we love Vivek Ramaswamy. We'll continue to watch his segments because he is a rising star in the GOP. You just saw a segment on John Stottle with Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek Ramaswamy is a rising star in the GOP. He's anti-woke. He's for truth. I think you already know in the United States this woke culture they've gone way too extreme. I mean, you can't talk to people these days without saying, are you he, she, they, them? I mean, it's ridiculous, and we're like putting it on our children. So that's just too much confusion, and that's why Vivek Ramaswamy is coming out on top real fast, because people had enough of this woke joke. In fact, I'm leaving you this segment. Don't you touch a dial. I'm going to show you a woke joke, because the woke people can't take a joke. And it's just appalling that 5% of the population, they're like pushing their secular value on 95% of the population. Most people are in a nuclear family. So throwing to me that you want to be a girl and you're a boy, you want to be a boy and you're a girl, he, she, them, it, we, they, it's just too much. There are only 2 genders and there cannot be 3. In fact, doctors in the United States, they want taxpayers now to be funding $300,000 for transgenders to try to have babies. They want taxpayers hook. You do see where this is going, right? It was always about the money. It was never about the transgender community, because all of a sudden, doctors now are saying taxpayers should be paying for this. Paying for what? We already owe $32 trillion. The fact that somebody's confused about their gender identity, we should not be adding that to our tax bill. And that's why Vivek Ramaswamy is very much pushing and going higher in the polls, because woke is a joke. We know woke caused a lot of money, created a lot of loss for Target, Bud Light, and Walt Disney. All that promotion they had, it just backfired on them because it's against nature. So we can't have 5% of the population controlling 95% of the population. This woke joke has to go. And that's why we are rooting for Vivek Ramaswamy. Should President Trump not be able to get elected, because you see what Biden has been doing to Trump. And of course, Biden, you can't touch Vivek Ramaswamy. He's up and coming and he's a rising star. And we're going to hear more and more about him as these election days go by. I'm Tisha Paul. Hit that free like and that free subscribe button. And here goes our woke joke. We got it from Ben Shapiro. We'll see you another time. Thanks so much for watching. Folks, go ahead and check out those tag products that we have from Neiman Marcus. And go ahead and like us on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. And please follow us, subscribe on YouTube so you can get the latest breaking business news from the United States. Go ahead, enjoy your woke joke for today. We'll be back with more. Enjoy this segment.
No man in a century will suffer as greatly as you will. Dr. 50!